What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages? Welcome to the broadcast. Welcome to the stream. My name is ImPERium. I'm casting some PUBG Mobile Global Championship Scrims. Of course, thank you very much to the wonderful Sakumai and everybody kind of in the background organizing these scrims. Absolutely insane. Thank you to all the teams who are showing up, and even to all the insane viewers. You guys kick ass. Thank you for supporting PUBG Mobile Esports across the way. It's absolutely kick ass to see. So we have four wonderful games for you guys. You can see the list of teams scrolling down the bottom of the screen. You can see the list of teams in the description. We'll be going through, of course, Erangel, Miramar, Sanhok, and Vikendi for today's games. As I do try and find the right overlay. Yep, we'll be starting in the next 20 seconds or so. You can also, just to give you a list of teams that are playing: Power888, Loops Esports, Godsent, Archer Gaming, Blue Bees, Secret Jin, Abrupt Slayers, 4 Angry Men, Zeus Esports, Alpha7 Esports, Konina Power, RRQ, Execute, NAVI. We also have BTR, Futbolists, Team Seeker, and A1 Esports. We are into the first game of the day. We do see a playing path that is going somewhat on the northern side of the map, going from Lipovka all the way over to Zarki. So it is going to be a little bit difficult to get towards a quarry, ferry pier, Gaka region, even military base. Nova should be accessible for a few of these teams. And it seems like Power are going to be going towards Milta Power, which would be pretty ironic. Konina Power should be able to get towards their Milta drop spot as per usual. I'm curious to see if Futbolists will go for that Novo drop in some way, shape, or form. Make sure I have the volume right. There you go. Yeah, I do. And then you do have the side of Blue Bees going to Lipovka. Yasnaya is going to be home to a couple of teams right now. It's going to be the side of Secret Jin and Godsent. So it seems like Godsent are changing up their drop spot, possibly for the PMGC. They normally dropped around the farm area, but I think because, of course, BTR are going to be in farm area, yeah, they're going to opt to change it up and go towards Yasnaya, which would definitely be a pretty safe place to be. But heading over to Rozhok, it's not looking too safe, as we do have Team Seeker and Alpha7 looming around each other. Split up for now, although in saying that, Team Seeker do have a little bit more togetherness on their side, with shots and Rex close by. But the battle in North Georgia between NAVI and 4 Angry Men. Let's see if I can bring on over. You also have Execute and play as well. Meku, hold on to pistol. So, you know, one player of NAVI has gone down straight away. The 4 Angry Men seem to have a little bit of a stranglehold so far in this fight. See if Execute will maybe look to third parties in some way, shape, or form. Oh boy, he's going to be left on his own. He's going to be facing up against 2 players of 4 Angry Men looming over in the building across the way. However, if Meku can do something from his angle, that could be pretty good for NAVI. By no means are they under super duper pressure. See, there's a lot of fights that are going to be going on, so it's going to be a little bit hard to capture them all in some way, shape, or form. As soon as I leave one fight, another one is going to kind of rage on, so it's going to be a little bit harder to keep an eye on everything. So I do apologize if I'm missing too much, as it seems like Team Seeker and Alpha7 have started to kick things off really between each other. As I do look to see this loading in. iShots is knocked down. Rex is going to be looking for the last player of Alpha 7. Gonna be prone down by the side of the wall, crouching over, looking for that third-person perspective. What is important is that maybe Team Secret look to get the revive onto Mad Toy. Rex. Oh, hi, boy. Gonna be looking around the wall. He's gonna know that Swag is there. It's the last player of Alpha 7. He's not gonna go for the shots as High Boy does get that pre-fire off to put you high. Sorry, Swag does get those pre-fire shots off to put High Boy down to around half health. They're not pushing as of right now. Like I said, getting a revive off onto Mad Toy to keep Team Secret up as a full squad. Definitely quite advisable. Of course, Phase Zone Circle is up and towards the northern side, so it does complement the playing path somewhat. We did see a little bit of a fight between Futbolists and BTR as well, as Mad Toy does get the last kill onto the side of Alpha 7, and we do see Matic getting knocked down into 33 Svan. 33 Svan was inside the use, but Matic is going to get knocked down pretty damn swiftly. Nice stuff indeed. Confirmed the kill over. Leaves Navi down to just 2 players. Oh boy in one building. You have Meku in the other. The CS side normally known for their dominance and control and engagements. Definitely getting pushed to the limits in the first game of the Scrims over in Erangel for the PMGC, the PUBG Mobile Global Championship Scrims. Across the building, Suk goes across the way. Gonna look for the shots onto. Oh boy. Down the stairs he's gonna go. Waiting it out. He's going to wait to get the support from his teammate. I think that's going to be the case. 33's fan was revived up in through the building. Is going to go. It's going to be 1v2. Nowhere to go. Oh boy gets knocked down. He gets suppressed. Kill confirmed. And Navi whittling away with just Meku left standing. All 4 members of 4 Angry Men are up. Execute have not looked to take advantage of this whatsoever, as Meku is going to stay prone down close by the stairs, hoping to maybe catch out the members of 4 Angry Men one by one. We'll have to wait and see. Got nowhere to really run, nowhere really to hide other than the building that he's in. If he doesn't make too much noise and 4 Angry Men starts to get the engage onto execute, that could be enough of a distraction for him to get away. Looking at where the other teams are, we did see Team the side of Secret Jin, I believe, take out Godsent. So that's Godsent eliminated. So we're down to 16 teams already. Loops are going to be rotating up north. Nice early rotation from Loops Esports to go on the north side of the river around the hillside of shooting range. It's a good place to go. Futbolists who did get, I think, a kill onto Zuxi from BTR have now moved down to Novo. Of course, they're going to be further away from the circle, actually quite far, to be perfectly honest. However, I think that's a kind of play style that they like to play, right? Edge of circle, be aggressive when they need to be. Abrupt Slayers, who are playing with an adjusted roster because they are traveling to Dubai, as far as I know. We're going to be looking to catch a Zeus across the bridge, heading over towards the northern river. Nice by Leon on Dabbly with the car 98. Put the headshot bolt, as they like to say. Revive will come through, but that is going to suppress the side of Zeus, who looked very good in the scrims yesterday, I might add. Archer on that 4-man spread across the northern side of the river. That's a little bit risky. Is that too heavily spread, considering how early it is in the game and how kind of confidently teams are going to look to kind of rotate on the northern side of the river? I don't know. We do still have 4 Angry Men hovering around the North George area. Execute, wondering how they're going to rotate away from North George, where they're going to look to head to. Will we see teams go straight for the coastline between the Severny area? It's going to be interesting. Blue Zone is starting to close in. RRQ making their way over to Watertown. We're 8.5 minutes into this game and we're down to 60 players. You have lost a couple of teams. There's Power. Gonna get close to Konina Power. Konina Power. I'd love to see it. Little bit of a passive point. Again, I love the positioning from Loops Esports. Kowalski, Federal, Carrillo, Dadin. Perching themselves up towards the center part of the circle. It's still quite risky because you have to be able to control that area, but hey, Loops are Loops, right? They're aggressive. They are controlling when they need to be. And we have seen Power catch out Konina Power a little bit. With Gonzo confirmed, so it's going to be Axer, OGR, and Black White for their side. Left standing, RRQ getting pretty close to Team Secret. These two teams are definitely not shy of each other from past experiences, going back to the PMWL East, of course. And now Power looking to catch out a couple of Konina Power players once again, and that's going to be Team Secret pushing RRQ back. A1 Esports in a bit of a similar position to Loops, a little bit further down the south. XQ have gone for that rotation on towards the shooting range area. A really good rotation for them, and that position by the airplanes. Yeah, okay, it's a little bit risky to grenades, but because it's a long strip, you can generally protect yourself. Plus, with the nerf to grenade damage, I think it's a bit more of a confident place to hold on to. As RQ and Team Secret are going to clash up against each other. Team Secret looking to push it, but they do lose High Boy off the back of it. Maybe they spoke a bit too soon. RQ stand their ground. Rex has a really great flank position across the other side of the road. Can catch out the members of RQ if he's able to get the relevant amount of information. He has to be very careful. His angle has been somewhat spotted. There is also a member of RQ pretty close by. Oh, going across the river. It's going to be a clean 1v1 right now between Rex and Ernie. Using the dip to his advantage on the third-person perspective. Ernie is going to be looking to get those pre-fire shots off, but it is going to be Rex that wins that 1v1 trade. And then Senior is going to get the return onto Rex. Nice teamwork coming out from RRQ and Team Secret, a little bit too separated. And that's going to be confirmed kill onto Rex, leaving Team Secret with 2 players up. Nicely done by RRQ. Really solid stuff for them to hold their ground. Now you're going to see the side of ASL. Abrupt Slayers. Leon with the car 98 shots. You gotta love to see it in these scrims. The thing is, will we see it? Will we see it in the official broadcast? Will we see headshots with the bolt actions coming through from the likes of Leon? I like that by Abrupt Slayers, looking to take advantage as the next circle has popped up. It's centralized a little bit down south, but it is still majority down on towards the northern side of the river. A little bit of Rosshawk in play. You have side of Secret Jin rotating up towards the eastern side river. Eastern side bridge, sorry, should I say. Hovering on towards the northern side of the river. We do still have the last player of NAVI. He has been able to stay held down in North Georgia's 4 angry men. Kind of thought about their position in the circle. I do like Execute's position as well. Again, they've reacted to that circle shift on phase 2 pretty well. Is it a little bit too close to the coastline? Possibly. But they do have Fate and Fame Boys in shooting range, which is pretty down south from that coastal line, so I think it's going to be pretty good for Execute. Blue Bees perching themselves in towards the middle of the circle onto a compound that's by the side of the road where they're able to grab themselves up on towards the roof. So it's pretty good stuff from Blue Bees. And they do have the side of Archer pretty close by. So good position from both sides. Of course, Archer Gaming have lost a player. That's something they're going to have to think about with Fabian further down south. And RRQ continue to put their hurt onto a number of players. But Beer's going to get knocked down. Senior is going to be the last player standing. And it is going to be Abrupt Slayer that take out RRQ. I caught that just at the end. And Abrupt Slayers did push that fight. They pushed that engagement off the back of catching that third party out. So nicely done by Abrupt Slayers. It gives them a little bit more space on the southern side of this phase 2 circles and gives them a little bit more control depending on where this phase 3 does shift towards. I really like Secret Jin's position. It's kind of 1-1, 1-1. Looking pretty good. 4 angry men are going for a 2-1-1 split. See that Wonder Play has gone pretty deep in towards shooting range. It's a bit risky to shooting range train, right? Because it's a kind of area where there's kind of nearly always somewhere higher ground with Futbolists rotating really nicely around Stallbar on the eastern side. That's a great rotation from Futbolists. They recognize the fact that Stallbar is going to be an area in these kind of circles which is going to be probably less prioritized. And it's a much safer, passive, calculated rotation coming out from the Turkish side, the current champions of the PMWL West. The blue zone closing in. I hope the stream is okay. I hope you guys can hear me okay as well. We see BTRs off the back of losing a player early on. They're down to 3. But hell, we know what they can do with 2 players. Never mind 3 or a full squad. They have Power a little bit down south, but Power are a 2-2 split right now down on the southern side of the river. Maybe they've left it a little bit too late to kind of rotate towards the northern side of the river, but then again, it seems like they're kind of playing for that little bit of a passive phase 3 shift. I'm just waiting out, just biding my time. Archer are getting a little bit too close to the side of Loops, and I think that's a rotation that is a bit too risky in my eyes, especially off the back of them already being well inside the circle. I don't think they need to make that kind of rotation. I suppose they are grabbing information. Well, let's see what they can do with it. Secret Jin was able to get a knockdown onto one of the Blue Bees players. Blue Bees, the Japanese side, of course. We know that leading up to this qualifying for the PMGC, they played on iPad, so they are coming into this tournament not only facing against the 23 of the best teams across the world, but they're switching to mobile devices for this. And hey, credit to them. You know, they may need a lot of time to practice, but by participating in these scrims, they're definitely aiding in their journey. Phase 3 did shift quite heavily over on the northeast, so we will see a lot of teams going for a deep rotation. This is where it really has benefited Futbolists. Secret Jin was one of the first teams to react to that circle shift, followed by XQ already had a solid position towards the coastal line of the circle, and now they're going to be looking to get out. Zeus, one of the most experienced players in the world of PUBG Mobile globally, is now going to be leading the XQ side in the biggest, grandest stage of them all. Team Secret are going to get punished across the board outside the circle. It's going to be Abrupt Slayers who are opting to go for the kills rather than rotating into circle, maybe recognizing that, look, if they went for the push into the circle, they most likely get caught out, so they're going to play on the outskirts. We are going to see A1 and a couple of teams go against each other. A1 really dealing with this nicely, although they are down to 2 players. Loops on the higher ground overlooking this compound. Loops are also punishing BTR. They don't really care who's around them. They're going to go for the controlling area, right? You can see where they're currently located. Looking for Sinister in towards that compound. DP28 for Corelio is going to get put under a little bit too much pressure. Gonna have to heal up. The focus, in my opinion, has to be that engagement onto A1, because when you look at that position inside the circle, they really have to kind of move in. And if they can take out A1, they can control pretty much the southern side other than BTR. So that's going to be really important. We do see Team Secret do lose their final player, so it is just Abrupt Slayers down on the southern side outside the circle. Power are going for a rotation now on the eastern side of Stallbar. Futbolists have themselves set up as a 2-1-1 split, I would say, with Execute going for a bit of a 2-2 split, but joining up a little bit together. However, in saying that, Fameboys does get knocked out because they're on a bit of a 2-2 split. They will be able to get that revive off pretty fairly. 4 Angry Men, though, they're coming in from the western side of them. We'll have to wait and see what 4 Angry Men can do from this position in Erangel, the Chinese side. Still getting used to the meta of the global version of PUBG Mobile. Plus, you're going to have the addition of Sanhok and Vikendi, 2 maps that they are not used to playing in the Chinese Peacekeeper Elite Championships and the leagues. They might play it casually, but from a competitive standpoint, every single map always runs a little bit differently. Blue Zone of Phase 3 is closing in. So we'll have to wait and see. Blue B still standing on point as a full squad in this 2-2 split, so they've reacted really well to these circle shifts. Now, where is it going to go? It's going to shift down south. And this is where I worry about Loops, because now they're not only going to have A1 looking at them, or them looking at A1, they're also going to have to be looking at the likes of Abrupt Slayers, the likes of Blue Bees, maybe Secret Jin, or even Futbolists Execute 4 Angry Men. So we'll have to wait and see how they do react to that. Power coming in from the high ground. They have a lot of information, a lot of sightlines, but they are not in the circle. Futbolists being put under pressure by Secret Jin. He's holding on. He's on his own, though. He's going to have to be provided with a little bit of support. Nice grenade to get knocked down to one of the Futbolists players from Secret Jin. Day 2 okay. But what are the rest of the team going to do about it, right? You gotta have Cosmos coming in from the side, but he's going to be put under a little bit of pressure by Futbolists. Solka is going to get stabbed out from behind by Power, so that's going to help Secret Jin to close out the little bit of engagement, but they will have to be aware of any potential third party. Down the hill, the members of Futbolists are maybe going to look to disengage away from this, but that in itself might be a little bit of trouble. Rome is going to get knocked down. Levazin is going to get knocked down. Lutz is on his own. Back is against the wall. Down the hill by the side of that US. He's got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. The only thing he can hope for is that Power and the side of Secret Jin do look to distract each other. And that might give him a little bit of time to move around. But with Power looking to control this area, it is on the edge of the northeastern side of the circle. Execute also coming in from that side as well. There's going to be a 3-way dance, and I think that's where Secret Jin realized, hey, it's not worth us taking that fight. We're already inside the circle. Let's just focus on our own position. We also do lose Futbolists. And there's a big gap in the center of the circle. Looking down south, Abrupt Slayers have done a great job considering they're an adjusted roster for these scrims. So at the full squad as they're traveling to Dubai. Loops, although they haven't lost any players, they haven't really maybe been as controlling as I would like to have seen them. As 4 Angry Men has 1 player inside the blue zone. I don't know if that's the last player of his side. It actually is. So that rotation down south did not work in their favor. Trying to hold out on his own, but he's coming through a buggy. As A1 are just going to look to move into circle down on the down on the southwestern side. Loops are going to be coming in from behind them along with Abrupt Slayers. Bluebies are also rotating on the western side. It's a 4-car rotation from the Japanese side. Now going to be looking for the final player, but a little bit of a third party from Loops might distract them. Curlia finds Reggie. Nice play coming out, and then the final player for Angry Men gets another knockdown. He's going to get second knockdown with the drop shot. It's 1 player left standing for Bluebies, and it is going to be Divine going to get the divine clutch of a lifetime to take out 4 angry men, and he will be able to get a couple of revives off to keep them up as a 2-man team. Abrupt Slayers now focused firmly on the members of Loops Esports. Loops did third-party this to an extent on their previous fight, but now they have to focus all on the members of Abrupt Slayers, and that's exactly what they're doing. Leon gets knocked down in amongst the smokes. That is just at risk of a couple of grenades, my friend. Oh, as I do try and find the camera. There you go. And the camera angle pushing in and knocked down with the vehicle. Zero respect given. Abrupt Slayers are eliminated, and we are down to just 7 teams with Abrupt Slayers, the latest victim. And they are going to see a hell of a lot of action with A1 inside the compound by the circle. Power coming in. Knockdown coming through. Sorry, it's a little bit hard to deal with the observer client. 1 player left standing for A1. Nice vehicle blow up to get the knockdown onto one of the power players. In around the side of Shack is going to come in. That's a second knockdown for Sinister. Baby. You gotta love to see it. Now it's going to be 1 player left standing for Power. On top, it's going to be another knockdown. Sorry, there's 1 player left standing with Sinister. It's going to be facing and maybe an Abrupt end. No, he gets he does not. He does get the 1v4, but it is going to be Blue Bees coming in and third-partying this Divine. Oh my lord, we're down to the final 5 teams. Insane stuff happening down on the southwestern side of the circle. I just did not expect to see. I was like, he's not going to get the 1v4, but hell yes, Sinister got the 1v4 in the Power. 5 teams left standing in this game are Loops, Secret Jin, Blue Bees, BTR, and Execute. BTR and Execute. Looksy looking for the final player of Execute. And that is going to be Execute in this game. And Looksy is going to get the revive on the Horizon. That was a 1v1. It was close by Fame Boys. But in the end, it's too much for him to handle. And now we're down to the final 4 teams. You have Secret Jin, you have Blue Bees, you have Loops, and you have BTR. The rotation is coming through for BTR to get the revive onto Micro Boy, but it's going to be confirmed by Carillo off the back of that vehicle blowing up. But if it feels bad, man, especially because Luxie had just got there. That means realistically that Loops have firm control in this circle in this game. Divine, who's the last player from Blue Bees, has held on for dear life in these games, getting a 1v4 in the Power. As he holds down, we're going to see BTR being eliminated by Loops. We're down to 3 teams. Power, Blue Bees, and Loops. Divine holding on for dear life. Zaps for Boy now going to turn his attention on towards Kowalski. Walkjay does knock down Carillo. Federale trying to suppress the members of Secret Jin. Federale doing a fantastic job. He's outside the circle though, so he has to look to try and push in. The good thing is that he got the knockdown onto the player from Secret Jin who was inside the circle. All the while, Divine of Blue Bees has been just holding on for dear life. Does have a couple of med kits on his side. Even though Loops are definitely controlling this final moments of the game, anything can happen. Kowalski goes for the revive on the Carillo. That gives a little bit of time, and that's going to be Divine taking out Blue Bees. Divine is a one-man wrecking machine. He's got 3 kills for his side. He's going to look for Federal. Puts him down to a little bit of health. Down by the side of rock. He's going full blazing. Now he does make his way down onto the southern side. He's not quite in the circle though. He's going to loot up his victim. And in comes Kowalski. It's a 1v3 for Divine. He got a 1v4 previously. Is he going to get a 1v3? This is a little bit of a different game though. And it's not going to be enough. Loops Esports. Get this chicken dinner. get this game in the palm of their hand, and they claim game 1 in the PMGC Scrims. They do grab 11 kills for their troubles. It was a good game. I questioned their position down on the southern side of the circle when they maybe didn't engage onto A1 as, in my opinion, as heavily as they probably should have. But because a lot of teams actually tried to go for a northern rotation and the center of the circle wasn't really as heavily focused, it did give kind of a little bit of space as it happens for them to control the southern side, and credit to them. They took out Abrupt Slayers who were coming in down outside the circle on the southern side. They did third party a couple of fights as well, so credit to them. It was really well played across the game. They were one of the first teams to go into the center of phase 1, and they made it work. Bluebees in second. Divine, insane stuff. He essentially got a 1v4. Yeah, it was a 1v3 because he got 3 kills, but it was pretty much a 1v4 on the Power. Man, I love it. I absolutely love it. Then you had Secret Jin in third place, getting 6 kills for themselves. I think 4 of those kills came at the hands of Godsent. Then you had BTR in fourth, getting 2 kills. Execute in fifth, getting 1 kill. Again, great rotations. Really well played off by Execute in terms of how they did maneuver around those circles. But I can't help but think, are they aggressive enough to deal with these teams? Are they going to be able to pull out the kind of kills needed? Not only from a controlling aspect inside the final circles, but even from a points perspective. Something to think about. A1 in 6th place, getting 8 kills. Yeah, Power in 7th, getting still a fantastic amount of kills. 4 and 3, 7, 8, 9, 10 kills for them. You had Abrupt Slayers in 8th, getting 3, 2, 5, 5, 2, 7, 7, 2 is 9. 4 Angry Men in 9th, getting 5, 6, 7 kills. You have Futbolists in 10th, getting 2 kills. You had Team Secret in 11th, getting 4 kills. You had Archer Gaming in 12th, getting 0 kills. You had NAVI in 13th, getting 0 kills. RRQ in 14th, getting 2 kills. Zeus Esports in 15th, getting 1 kill. Konina Power in 16th, getting 0 kills. Alpha 7 in 17th with 0 kills. Godsent in 18th with 0 kills. I just need to do something here because I need to remove my alert because it's just the sound is going off. So yeah, I just that's definitely a little bit frustrating. Okay, so that was game 1, guys. That was game 1. Also, the amount of people tuning in, thank you. I just don't know what to say. It's absolutely pretty kick-ass. We have 3 more games to go, guys. 3 more games to go in the PMGC Scrims for Sunday, the 22nd of November. 2 days to go. Oh my god. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Season 16. I'm sorry, mate, but I just don't really care about Season 16. Not meant to say that, but sorry, just trying to get rid of this on my screen. Yeah, that was a great game 1. Some harsh circle shifts, for sure. Oh my god. Okay, let me skip that. Thank you very much. Definitely some harsh circle shifts. But what I liked is how a good few of those teams weren't afraid to pull off some unorthodox rotations. Kind of the likes of Futbolists coming in from the eastern side. They had Execute then even kind of down on the northern side. It was a really good game in my opinion. And I just definitely cannot kind of complain with how the teams played. Especially considering that these are scrims and you don't necessarily expect to, I'm just trying to deal with it. Just trying to deal with this timer. Yeah, it was a really solid game. I liked how it played out. Of course, Loops, as I said, controlled the game really well. Can't complain with how they played it, and a few teams definitely impressed me in terms of aggression. I'm going to be joined by Maxman for game 2. For one game, he's free. Who knew it? So, on that beautiful note, I will be going for a break, but we will be back on your screens in all of about 5 minutes for game 2 out of 4 in the PMGC PUBG Mobile Global Championship. Official scrims? Yeah, official scrims. See you guys soon. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? We are back for game 2 out of 4 here in the PMGC PUBG Mobile Global Championship official scrims. And for game 2, bit of a lovely, pleasant surprise for you guys. The wonderful, the one and only, the sensational, the PMGC analyst, Maxman, in the house.
Hey, how's it going? I hope my audio is not too high, as I do have a new mic set up. But everyone, hope you're doing good. Hope you're in good hands with ImPERium, I hope. And yeah, it feels good to be in. I didn't think I would have time to normally do this, but seems like I do.
That's the thing. I was like, when you messaged, you're like, do you want to do duocast for game 2, like for one game? I was like, hell yeah, man, anything to cast with you, man. To be perfectly fair, so pretty hard. You were obviously catching game 1. Also, Max provides some lovely feedback in terms of showing the map, so I do appreciate that as well. But what were your thoughts on kind of game 1 based on what you saw, if you did see?
I'm not gonna lie, I was making my cup of tea, so I didn't see the end.
It's cool. That's the thing. If you didn't see. No, that's fine. It's fine. Just
tell me what did you think of that game, ImPERium? How did that game go for you?
Thank you very much.
There you go. Gonna pick your brains.
Obviously, some harsh circle shifts coming into kind of phase 3, phase 4 onwards. I know that's a little bit to be expected, but they stood out for me at some points. Loops were one of the first teams to rotate towards the center of the phase 1 circle, and not only did they react really well to the circle shifts across the board, they also rotated in some really cool positions, especially on the very late game, and they were quite controlling in that typical Loops manner, right? Aggressive, but not too aggressive. And they end up winning the game overall quite confidently. Execute played pretty well on their rotations coming from North George. We had 4 Angry Men eliminate 3 of the NAVI players in the early parts of the game, and we had 2 teams wiped out. It was Team Secret took out, oh my god, I forget now. We had Abrupt Slayers with an adjusted roster because some players are traveling to Dubai. Really kind of pop off, especially Leon with that car 98. I think got a minimum of 2 knocks, so that was pretty insane.
Oh yeah, nice. There you go. But I'm looking at the score sheet right now. I have it under my eyes. So yeah, Loops took themselves a really nice win. Apparently, it was 26 point, like 11 frags too on that one. And also, you got 10 kills for Power 888. And I did check because I'm an analyst. That's why I have to do. So we do say it, Power 888. Not like I was saying yesterday, 888 or 888. It is 888. So there you go. Now we know.
Power I was just calling them Power because I wasn't sure.
Exactly. I was dumb. I was like calling them everything except the right name. Everything.
Cool, it's cool.
And also, so you didn't. I'm gonna educate everyone, guys. I'm gonna educate the masses. 4 Angry Men. Wait, what team number are they already? 4 Angry Men.
4 Angry Men are 14. Saw 14.
Team number 14. Okay, got it. Well, the first player is actually it's a Chinese name, but he's actually called Sin. S-I-N. Sin.
Thank you, because I was kind of. I not gonna lie.
Exactly. Yesterday, it was like this guy got a 1v2. I don't know how to say it, but he did a 1v2.
I just kind of like this guy. Let me turn you down a little bit because I think it might be a little bit too loud. Just in terms of, so if you do play by play, you're not screeching. It's cool. It's cool, man.
So sad.
But yeah, we are going to be getting into this game in the next 30 seconds or so. I did show the scoreboard from that game 1 on the boys and girls screen, so they can see what the situation is right now. But yeah, I'm excited, man. Like, what are your thoughts in terms of? I thought we were going. Yeah, Miramar is game 2. I did get it right. Yeah, I did get it right. But Miramar, right? Like, there's no Nova. But 4 Angry Men, I think, are also pretty competent on this map, right? From what we saw in PC, from what we've seen in PL, are you kind of thinking, even though it's a global version, it's not, that isn't really going to change the fact that they're going to know how to position themselves in this map?
I mean, of course, like, you can expect so much more, but I'm going to go with another team that I think does extremely well when it comes down to Miramar, and that's A1 Esports. Reason why I'm saying A1 Esports is because they did extremely good yesterday. They took the first Miramar chicken dinner for themselves, and I think that them and RRQ Athena are like the 2 best teams when it comes down to Miramar. We remember when we were casting, RRQ Athena and Miramar in PMWL East Season 0, and they were doing extremely good on the desert map. So if I had to choose a chicken dinner winner on this one, it would have to be or A1 Esports or RRQ Athena.
Cool. Well, we do see their playing path kicking things off. It's pretty central across the board, right, Max? In terms of, it hits the Picado mark pretty well. Yeah, okay, it's going from southwest to northeast, so maybe Campbell Miltar drops up. But overall, I could think of a lot worse playing paths for this Miramar game.
Yeah, I mean, we had some really bad playing path yesterday. I mean, did you see them? Probably not. You were in your bed.
No, dude, man, I was.
The playing path were really bad. Like they went round top of Lost Lunes. You had the drop that was really weird yesterday. I believe it was RRQ Athena who actually dropped in Lost Egos. And I think that was just like a testing ground, but like they're definitely not going to drop there again because that really was out there.
Oh, we do see BTR and Konina Power dropping in Picado. The battle of Picado between these two sides. Konina Power can't seem to catch a break because, they always seem to have a challenger in Picado. We also see a couple of teams dropping in down by San Martin. That's Team Secret and the side of Futbolists. And NAVI and Blue Bees are kicking off this fight in the Vincere area.
Some big boy fights are going to be happening. It happened exactly yesterday. Like you had Navi versus Blue Bees. Yesterday was actually Navi that won it flawlessly, 4-0. Yep. So actually, I think that here Blue Bees are trying to reclaim their past drop-in location. So they're going to be in a pretty big fight. But Lufa is completely spread away from the rest of his team, ImPERium. They're still able to find a knockdown with the UMP onto Tixi and might be able to find his second one onto Old Boy. As Navi are just trying to surround Lufa and taking down the old player of Reject Scarlet is somewhat going to get overwhelmed.
Or Blue Bees, the Vine from their side was one that stood out. He got a 1v3 against Power888 in the first game of the day and got second place for his side. So really, I've no doubt that Blue Bees are going to be a force to reckon with when it comes to the PMGC, as Lufa is going to be facing up against the two players of NAVI. Towards the building. Manic holding on. Oh boy is indeed knocked down, so the support is coming through as Lufa is going to be coming out pretty strongly in this game. Gets a second knockdown onto Matic. Oh my, this is what I talked about with Blue Bees.
1v4! It's a 1v4! He just 1v4'd Navi ImPERium! Oh my god, Lufa! What do you want from me? There you go. They lost it yesterday. They take it today. Not as flawless as Navi yesterday, but they still take it 3-2-4. Man. What a clean fight.
That's what I'm saying. With Blue Bees, they are a force to be reckoned with. Fact. They are a force to be reckoned with. I'm have it on record, Blue Bees, PMGC, they're going to show up. We did see Futbolists, I believe, took out Team Secret in San Martin as all that was going on. We have A1 and Godsent in Los Leones.
Picado.
Oh my lord.
Picado.
My lord.
Konina Power and Bigetron. Yesterday was actually won by Konina Power, and now Bigetron seemed like they were to find three players. They found Gonzo, DGR, and Black White. Ace is going to be the last player standing currently for Konina Power, as they did pick up 2 kills on Bigetron. So still pretty close, I do have to say, but I'm pretty sure this is a fight we're not going to see actually break out during the Global Championship, as Ace is going to push it up there with a Thompson, but it's not going to work out. And today is a day of upsets. Like the fights that were won by teams yesterday are actually being lost today.
Oh, and we also see 4 angry men and Loops Esports, I think, having a little bit of a scuffle against each other. As 33's fam was knocked down, but it is going to be the last player. Is it the last player of Loops? No, it's one player of Loops is actually taken out, as the rest of Loops are looting up towards El Azahar. Max, phase 1.
Yeah.
What do you make of it? I think it's pretty good because it complements the playing path. I think it's pretty banging.
When you have such a central playing path, like you don't have you rarely have really bad circles. This one has most of this zone is playable. You've got a little bit of an area to the west, which is not playable, but that's completely fine. You got most compounds, got high ground position. I would say Bigetron off the bat of winning that fight, because also you do have a few teams like potentially Abrupt Slayers that did third party in Picado yesterday. I would say Bigetron, if I were them, I would just leave Picado, go for the mountaintop up north, and just scout from there on, because they are as a 2-man army, so they can't really take a fight head on.
And Abrupt Slayers third-partied in the first game as well. In the fight between Team Secret and RRQ, they third-partied that, and they ended up eliminating RRQ, I think. And then they ended up taking out Team Secret. It was either way, they third-partied really successfully. So, again, maybe a little bit of a pattern forming, even though it's not the full Abrupt Slayer side, it could be a pattern forming where they're able to recognize when is the right time to third party a fight and to grab a couple of kills. Because that's going to be so important in the PMGC, right? When you're able to get a couple of kills without really getting involved in the fight, that's good stuff.
Yeah. So, ImPERium, I want to ask you I want to pick your brain just a little bit there. Just was like, nothing like, strategic or anything. So, Fuanggu Men's got one player that's currently split away from his team that's going towards water treatment. How do you say his name? Go on.
It's just Suck, right?
No, I thought it was that too yesterday, but people telling me, no, Maxman, that's not how you say it. It's actually Suk.
Suk. So,
which it's there you go.
Yeah,
now
I
we
know
don't have
what
to do
you're
bad jokes
thinking.
anymore.
I know what you're thinking, right? You're thinking what I'm thinking.
Maybe. So, like, ImPERium. Also, now something like game related here. Because we're not here to mess around too much. You remember back in PMWL, like we had T1. They were the only team to drop on the mount, to not drop, but like rotate to the mountain on the east of El Porto, and they would always like snipe and scout from that position. Yeah. But now T1 on this tournament, I would love to see if other teams would try and take that position because it was helping T1 a lot in their PMWL adventure.
It really was, and yeah, okay, on one hand, that's a fantastic position, but on the other hand, there's a lot of great areas in this phase 1 that teams can go to where you don't necessarily need to go to high mountainside. So it could be one of those things where a team is just not feeling like they have to, and they're thinking, okay, we might get affected on a phase 2 shift if we do go there. It's one of those things, plus as they're still maybe trying to find their feet, they could just be looking in other areas of the map and maybe looking out for other teams towards where they dropped. Yeah.
Overall, I'm okay with pretty much what's happening. Abrupt Slayers, I like it. They went for the side of Power Grid. It's really good for scouting in what's happening in Center Circle towards Monte Nuevo. Alpha 7 actually started moving early from Monte Nuevo, and they actually got the mount, like the little, no, it's not really a mountain, like we're going to call it the hilltop, and they got the hilltop position up north. So I think overall I'm pretty happy. But look at, like, we mentioned this rotation time and time again over our history of casting PUBG Mobile ImPERium. Like the rotation from Valdemar from Zeus Esports, they took like the high road on the left because really no one's going to deny you that rotation. And also the cast spawns are so dominant, and you got mountaintop right west of Monte Nuevo. Like this is a clean rotation from Zeus because they just know they're not going to encounter anyone mid-rotation.
110%. Also love Execute's current position with Fate being that scout where he's able to grab a lot of information. It's a bit of an early position, and because the rest of the team are kind of following suit early on, I think it'll set Execute up really nicely coming into phase 2. Again, they're a team that are very intelligent, and they do have really strong rotational plays. I just worry about their lack of aggression.
Yeah, I think that could be an underlying issue for them. I'm going to head on over to Futbolists, and I don't know why I had an issue there, but they're going to be fighting versus Execute currently. Execute not really full squad in that position. They got to be a little bit careful if they decide to attract the attention of Futbolists, but seem like Futbolists, they're aiming for a different position. They are not really too interested with this fight, so they should be able to leave Execute for the time being alone.
They're hoping they can actually kind of pinch Execute more so than Execute pinch them, but being on that southern high ground from Execute, from where Execute are, and we see phase 2 shifting up, and that's going to be the case. But the good thing is Execute can always just go back over and come in from the northwestern side of the map. It will take longer, but it could be a potential clean disengagement.
Yeah, I think the overall here for Futbolists, they got a good high ground position. Also, they're just going to be potentially gatekeeping Execute. So I think the overall here, Execute got nothing to win from this fight, which is exactly what they're going to be doing. They're getting into the car. They're sending 2 players forward. Zute and Noobsy are staying behind. Maybe because they're keeping Zute and Noobsy behind, maybe their game plan is actually to try and pinch them on the mountain. I don't know exactly what the game plan of Execute actually is, but seem like they've got an ace up their sleeve.
Fate is flanking around pretty nicely. Of course, Futbolists need to think about their position inside the circle, right? Because there's a huge Chungus Mountain just down the south of them. They're not really getting a lot of information on the teams towards the center of the circle, so it's much more important for them and much more valuable for them, in my opinion, to, for now, forget about Execute and think about getting information on the teams who are already inside the circle or rotating around them.
So real quick, I'm going to send panning over to RRQ Athena, where I think we've got a pretty big fight potentially coming out. You got Zeus Esports. They are so spread, but they got so many angles. I think that RRQ Athena have literally no idea. B11 just going to go, oh, YOLO, dude. I'm just going to go straight center, and he's going to encounter himself with Zeal, and he's going to get put down instantly by Zeal with the M4. That is why you want to scout, my friend. B11 is going to regret that decision. Ernie's now going to be somewhat locked in a position also, as D2's got a little hilltop. They're caught out napping ImPERium. RRQ are going to struggle to disengage this potentially.
Yeah, it seems like D2E is looking to join up with Ernie, so they might try to commit on this, but Ronan is going to get the knockdown onto D2E.
Yeah, exactly, because they had so many different angles, and it was literally like a spider web, and they were just waiting for an unwilling just team to just jump into it. And the moment they get caught up and tangled in the web, like, they're done for. And literally that is exactly what we saw happen as RRQ are down to, I believe, 2 players. Oh no, just 1 player actually. Ernie. I thought they. Well, I don't know how Senior died early then, but yeah, they're down to only 1, and that's Ernie.
And here's the thing, that was kind of realistically off the back of what you had mentioned, Zeus's rotation down from Valdemar. It was out of sight, out of mind. Because they got there early on that rotation, they were able to catch out RRQ. So teams, if you think about that early rotation, there's a higher chance you not only control your area, but you can catch a team out.
Exactly. I think that here Zeus has a really good ownership of the western side of the map. So I'm intrigued to see how they're going to do potentially with teams trying to maybe counteract their rotation going into the global championship itself. As Ernie now, they saw exactly where he was positioned, so they're going to potentially converge on his position. Icy's very close. He's actually in grenade range, and as I say that, he's going to start chucking a little bit of utility in his global vicinity. But I think that Zeus, because then he got 2 kills, right? I think they might be thinking it's still a 2-man team, so they're still being very, very cautious, very aware of how they want to approach this compound.
Blue Zone closing in for phase 2. Yeah, okay, they're pretty firmly inside the circle, but they will have to beware. The longer they leave it to close out this fight, the harder it might be to rotate should the circle disengage very heavily away from them. We do see Execute catching out a member, 4 angry men down on the northern side of the circle, as Execute did indeed do what I kind of suggested, which is go around on the northern side, but they did get a little bit closer to El Pozo, as the phase 3 shift is pretty damn extreme.
Yeah, we didn't see on stream, but Icy just had a great grenade onto Ernie, and that's RRQ Athena eliminated. So it seemed like my call-offs saying RRQ were good on Miramar. I mean, they are, but it's just this time around they encountered a worthy foe that was Zeus Esports. A very unfortunate run of events on their side. And I'm going to go over to 4 angry men up in the northern edge. I was going to be seeing exactly what is going to be happening. And the other player, the player that I cannot say the name on 4 angry men's side is actually Xini. There you go. Sin and Xini.
Sin and Zingy. And it's going to be Zingy. It's going to be taken out. Haskell is going to be able to knock down Noobs, but Zute comes in, and that's going to be a squad wipe for Execute. The right amount of aggression. Going to get that revive off on the Noobs, and they will keep up as a full squad.
Yeah, there you go. Really clean stuff coming out from Execute. And I said it right there. We're going to have a trick up their sleeve. And I think especially like we saw yesterday, Miramar game, where they were playing really passive in the early stage. And they can always snake out of a bad position, which is why I really respect the Execute, because I think they have true potential as they can just snake away from really bad spots. Now the circle, you said it right. Hardchief coming on through. Pretty good position from the likes of Blue Bees. They've got good high ground mountain top position to control from. But a lot of teams around them that could throw a few shades at this position of Blue Bees.
I also kind of worry about A1. Maybe they're a little bit too separated. Loops are coming in from the northern side. Dadin is going to be inside the same building as Ginny. So it's something they're going to have to think about. But with a couple of the Loops members in the background, let's see if Sinister from A1 can be that flank position to suppress the members of Loops.
Salk able to find a nice knockdown onto Leon of Abrupt Slayers. Futbolist trying to be a little bit cautious about this one, but Soke is very split away from the rest of his team. They trying to send Hunter forward, but Hunter gets headshot by Loverzin. And now I think that here we're seeing Abrupt Slayers regretting their decision, as they're going to try and just fall back on their feet and keep on top in the back foot with also Utsaga. Very unfortunate run of events, but Solke just solo-handedly defended his position with his team.
And it's very important position for Futbolists, because they are pretty close to the central part of the circle, but they're not confident enough, in my opinion, where they don't, where they can be a bit passive. I think being that level of aggression is much better.
Yeah. So Bigetron, we did talk about the fact that I think they could go scouting up north of Picado. They didn't do that actually. But it did go from compound to compound very slowly without really attracting too much attention. And then Bigetron, right, their playstyle, when they know they can't take fights, they play passive, they play edge of circle, which is exactly their playstyle here. They're just going to go step by step, circle by circle, finding a decent spot where no teams currently are, and then hopefully just get a few extra positioning points from that. That is their playstyle. We saw Bigetron pull off time and time again, so I'm expecting to see Bigetron not get fully involved in any future fights, as the circle does go perfectly on top of both Alpha 7 and Blue Bees.
And Alpha 7 were actually kind of on the western side of the road, and they made that early kind of rotation, predicting that the next phase was going to go against them. And credit where it's due, it's worked out in their favor. But with a team in front of them, of Blue Bees, and with them in the central part of the circle, will they get compounded by a couple of teams maybe rotating around them? Of course, they have a lot of kind of high ground, low ground where they're able to protect themselves from, but time will tell.
Exactly. So I'm looking a little bit at what's happening on our side. I've seen a really, really smart rotation coming out down south. There's actually from Zeus Esports. So Zeus Esports, they were actually up north next to Mountain River, and now they actually went for a wide rotation because they knew no teams are occupying the western edge. I think that Zeus Esports, in this game specifically, has the cleanest rotation so far. I'm going to head on to a fight of Execute up in the northern western side. They're taking a big fight versus Power888. Currently happening.
Oh, baby. Bane Boys is knocked down, followed by Fate. So Zute, who did get a squad up on the 4 angry men along with Noobs. Last 2 players standing, but they're facing up against a blue zone, and they are pretty kind of further away from the rest of the team. So Zute essentially on his own.
Exactly, yeah. Zute's going to have to solo this fight. He is pretty far away, too. He's in a position where he can't really join up on the rest of his squad easily, and they're just going to bleed out to their death one by one. And we'll see if he can try and make it up. But he's got a car, and I think that here the best course of action is literally to just disengage, count your loss, and just get the hell out from that compound, because it's definitely not worth it. And there's not too many teams up north, so Zute could technically still find a little nook and cranny to hide into.
He can, but the fear is that because he's coming in from the north, he doesn't really have that much information. He's really got to kind of tread lightly, and he could make the wrong move. Loops on to another player of the side of Abrupt Slayers. We're running, of course, an altered roster. It's now going to leave on top left on his own, but he's really kind of going into the frying pan of a number of teams, which is, of course, in my eyes, Secret Jin right now. Going to see him right on his side. Shots are going to be fired up, but he does make it into that building.
Yeah, they're going to be taking a big fight for themselves. The grenades are going to be flying on by. A1 Esports are going to be in a pretty good spot. They got high ground position above Loops. Loops they had a few players like Federal that was actually in a little dip, so it makes it really hard for him to really peek out from too easily. Korea is going to be trying to join up on his position. Some utility will be coming out from his side. The grenades are flying by, but Korea has no chance. He's just getting absolutely pummeled down by A1 Esports. And A1, they want to try and put a nail in the coffin of this one. They want to take down the entire opposition. Korea's going to be right around the corner, and he will indeed go down. Loops are out in ninth.
Yeah, maybe they bit off a little bit more than they could chew. They didn't clean up A1 when they had the chance. A1 did deal with that really tremendously, really finding the right time to strike. And now Alpha 7, who are still inside the circle as a 2-2 split, have Power888 to the north of them.
Yeah, Power888 are going to try and enter eventually. While that time like this, they're literally chilling ImPERium. As the old, prophet said, they be chilling. They're having a fun time. But Alpha 7, they got a 2-2 split currently happening. They got 2 players taking care of the outskirts of the circle in the northern western edge. And Alpha also got 2 players, Senna and Lord, just trying to take care of the central part. But the circle is a pretty hard shift for this lobby, as it does go to the mountaintop, held on so far by the side of Blue Bees, the Japanese team. So I'm pretty sure we're going to maybe see a fight between Alpha 7 and Blue Bees extremely soon.
I just got a notification on my smartwatch saying that 4 a.m. Zing-he. So I hope I say that right in the future, but it's
Zingy,
definitely Zingy.
Yeah, Zingy.
So
That's listen to me, ImPERium. I'm so sad.
No, but it's like getting the message. I was just like, just knowing how it's spelled as well as pronounced, but yeah.
Yeah, there you go. We're being big brain guys, it's fine. A belly of Zeus already sent forward towards the circle just to liberate a little bit of room. He's the anchor point for his team to allow an easy rotation inside the circle. Raucus is going to serve the exact same purpose for his squad, as he's actually just going to full send himself straight into the circle. But Abeli, actually, the anchor point of Zeus does go down.
Yeah, Marley with the M24 shot off. gonna really work out. We know how good Marley can be with a bolt action, so it really is no surprise in my opinion. And now Godsent are gonna be able to edge a circle, camp the side of Zeus and pick him off one by one. I believe he's gonna get confirmed up. Zeus is gonna be holding down on the side of the vehicle, getting those shots off to try and suppress Godsent, but because right now it's a 2v1, a grenade comes through, he goes down, but in comes Alpha 7 on a bit of a third party.
Yeah, there you go. They hear some good shots on Alpha 7. You know, they're going to try and get involved. Center does go down. Law's going to be left forward. He's going to do a room just like in One Piece. But no, we're not in One Piece. We're in PUBG Mobile, baby. As Law does go down to the opposition, the European team of Godsent takes it for themselves and eliminate 2 teams almost instantly. Well, not really Zeus. Zeus is also over there, but they take down 2 little squads. And Ronin does go down. Zeus Esports will be eliminated in 8th position. 7 teams still remain as Futbolists. They're going to have a lot to deal with because they're still trying to push up in the northern edge.
They are still trying to push up in the northern edge. You got the last remaining player of Power888 to the north of them, or to, should I say, to the west of them. You have Blue Bees to the south of them. And all the while, you know who's also sitting pretty? A1 here on the northeastern side of the circle. Still up as a full squad with 3 kills so far in this game.
Yeah, they're going to be pretty safe in this one. I'm like seeing how the circle's been going, unless it goes over to the side, sorry, to the side of a Secret Jin. I do believe that this one will be won by Blue Bees, so there's going to be expecting big hardship for that to not be the case. But currently, you're seeing Godsent taking down Alpha 7 one by one. Godsent, what is happening? I mean, they were playing good yesterday, taking teams down like Nova or Bigetron, but Godsent today also, they're playing strong. 7 kills already under their belt. Yeah,
they kind of picked their time to strike, and they're making it work in their favor. As we are down to the final 6 teams. You got Blue Bees, you got Futbolists, you got Power888, you got A1, you have decided Secret Jin and Godsent in this game.
Yeah, here it is. They're sending themselves forward. Raucous and the Buggy's going to be trying to initiate upon the good old squad of Blue Bees. They got the only remaining compound in this circle, but the circle did go a little bit further away from them. Actually, somewhat in favor of Secret Jin down below, and also A1, but I think that A1 and Secret Jin will take a fight of their own to try and take control of the eastern edge. But to Futbolists and Godsent, they're both going to be converging on this compound of Blue Bees because they know if they leave this area free for Blue Bees, like, they're going to get backstabbed later on.
But then again, could one of them get third party to allow Blue Bees to keep on surviving and striving in this game? We'll have to wait and see, as Godsent are making their way down over the lip of the hill, overlooking the Blue Bees members that are going to get surrounded. Solke does take down the last remaining player of Power888.
Yeah, Power888 out in 6. Futbolists going to make their way into the compound. Blue Bees, then you got 2 players, Ato-chan and Lufa, and you're taking a 2v4v4. Like, you know that this one is going to be a tricky engagement for the side of Blue Bees. A lot of smokes coming out from Futbolists, which I think is good. They also denying pressure from Marley on the other side of Godsent, so it could definitely help them out in the long term. But Godsent, they're not really too focused on this compound. They know big fights currently roaring in those buildings. So they're more focused on the teams down below, like Secret Jin and A1 Esports. They are hungry for kills, Godsent, today.
And now we see Ato-chan is going to come in. He's going to get knocked, but he's going to get knocked down in return. So leaves Lufa left on his own. He's going to get 1 knockdown. Switches around. He's going to go for a second knockdown. Is this going to be a second 1v4 for Blue Bees and Lufa? God damn it! Let's see if we can work it inside the smokes.
Oh, the smokes are going to be dissipating actually in ImPERium, but Lufa, the clutch machine of today, is decimating the side of Futbolists. That's another one, and another one. 8 kills going so far for the side of Blue Bees, but it's not over just yet. He's going to go actually for the res on Ato-chan. I'm surprised Futbolists, knowing their aggressive nature, that they did not go for that flush instantly. Asoki now, the tables have been switched. Look how the turntables, that you would like to say. As now he's taking a 1v2 versus Blue Bees, but Godsent, after the fight broke out, they want to go for the re-engage. They want to eliminate all these teams in this compound, eliminating potentially Futbolists and Blue Bees along the way, as now Lufa is left as a one-man army.
And inside the blue zone, Solke is taking that tick damage, which is really not helping them. A1 Esports, who forgot about Secret Jin, are coming in now on the upper part of this hill. As down goes Blue Bees. You got 3 teams in the corner side of this circle. As Godsent are going to lose 2 players. Those revives are going to come through. Futbolists go down, and we're down to the 3 final teams.
Yeah, before we do end up this game, we do have to say what a game that was from Blue Bees. Still big congrats to them. But A1 Esports, they're actually pushing up, like they're pushing uphill, and they didn't get punished by Secret Jin down below. This is huge. As Godsent now, taken down one by one, down to 2 players. It's going to be Mali and Navy, but no, the flashbang comes out. The buff flashbang destroys the European side of Godsent, and they are eliminated in 3rd position by A1 Esports. And A1 Esports now, this is looking like a piece of cake ImPERium. They got 3 players, they got the mountaintop, they take down GGZ, and now it's all down to Forward Boy to take that fight for himself. But ImPERium, I told you, it was all RRQ or A1 Esports, and seems like A1 Esports will indeed be the team to take this chicken dinner.
Oh, no, come on. Leave the poor guy alone. Zap's fourth, left on his own. He's going to take that damage. He's going to go down, and that's going to be the game won by A1 Esports. 9 kills to get the
7 for Sinister.
Yeah.
7 for Sinister.
Yep.
What? Okay. Chill out. A1 Esports, that's huge for Sinister. But like, not only him, like, look, where is he? Where's Lufa? Lufa 5 kills also for himself. Like, huge. Like, you got so much. Oh my god, this was such a good game. I loved it. There you go. I have no words. It was just too good.
Also, people giving out to me for opening the map too much. Apologies about that, guys. It's a bit of a habit I have, so I'm trying to work on it, but I'll do my best to improve for the next couple of games. But absolutely fantastic game across the board. Nice to see Godsent kind of popping off on this Miramar game, and to be honest, I'm kind of not surprised because Godsent have always looked pretty solid in Miramar. Coming up against these PMGC teams, you know, it's always going to be a different kind of test. Scrims are not, but it is nice to see that kind of consistency in, at least in the Miramar map, shining up.
Yeah, I just enjoyed that game so far. Like, the fights were really clean, and I liked it. Like, teams that lost yesterday on Miramar, like, you know, Blue Bees losing to NAVI and Chumacera, then you had to find Picarded. It was actually won by Konina Power versus Bigetron. Well, today it's a complete 180. You had Blue Bees winning versus NAVI, and also Bigetron winning versus Konina Power in their own respective fights. So I think that here really shows that the level of competition is so close that no team is just straight up dominating in terms of fights. It is actually really close. And I'm just really enjoying that. Like, I think it's cool to see, like, these scrims being so tense still, and it just means just that PMGC itself is going to be just so much better to watch.
Kind of like, I genuinely can't wait. Like, this is just a teaser as well. This is just a taster. This is just it's not even the appetizer. It's the appetizer of the appetizer of the appetizer in my eyes, you know, because like, not even the start of the PMGC is really going to be the start of the PMGC, if that kind of makes sense, right? You know, when we look back at the PMWL, there was that kind of evolutionary stage between the opening weekend, between the opening days, the opening weeks, etc., etc. So definitely going to be interesting to see. A1 Esports, as we said, getting first place with 9 kills. You had a Secret Jin in second place. Very passive game. Only 1 kill, but at least second place nonetheless. You had Godsent in third getting 9 kills. You had Futbolists in fourth getting 7, 9, 10 kills for themselves. Blue Bees in fifth with 8 kills. 5 for Lufa. Very well deserved result and game for them, especially. Power888 in sixth getting 3 kills. Alpha 7 in 7th getting 2 kills. Zeus in 8th with 3 kills. You had Loops in 9th with 2 kills. And Execute in 10th with 5 kills. You want to read out the rest, my friend Maxman?
Sure, if you want. Let me get up there. So you're going to have then also the side of Abrupt Slayers in 11th position. Bigetron in 12th position was 4 kills, 2 for Luxy and also 2 for Microboy. Also, I want to say real quick, congratulations to Zuxi for being chosen as the mobile player of the year. So congratulations to Zuxi, big ups to him. Then you're going to have 400 Men in 13th position. Also, RRQ Athena 14th, Konina Power 15th, 16th for NAVI, Team Secret in 17th and 18th position for Archer Gaming. I want to do a quick little point here. Not negative or anything, but I just want to point something out. I'm seeing Team Secret in the scrims yesterday and today going out early a lot. With a lot of the times actually 0 kills to show for it. If this I mean, I know these are scrims, right? And it's not really representative of what's potentially going to be happening in the global championship. But if it's not working, just go for a drop where no teams like drop into. I just literally just give it up because Team Secret have been struggling a lot in yesterday's games and today. And I would feel really sad to see that happen in the global championship also. But once again, they might just be hiding their strats. That might just be it.
Yeah, like. But then again, if you kind of, I suppose all we can slightly go by is what we saw in PMWL. And it seemed that, like, with Team Secret is that they showed their strength at times, but it's kind of like they never really... It's like they never really reached their full potential in the PMW. Maybe that was off the back of them having a slow start. So in the global championship, even if it's just scrims, you'd like to see them send a message, kind of do something that kind of makes us go, wait, this is gonna be a team to watch in the global championship. That's so I agree with you. To be fair, I really do.
There you go. Good stuff. So I don't know. Wait, what's the next map we're going to be doing? Actually, is it Vikendi?
It's going to be Vikendi. No, Sanhok. Sorry, Sanhok. Sanhok for game 3. Yeah. Okay. Sanhok for game 3.
Everyone's favorite map, Kappa.
Don't remind me of it, please, sir. Yeah, it's like, and obviously I didn't catch the Sanhok game yesterday, but what was your thoughts on the Sanhok game yesterday?
Yesterday's Sanhok game, it was an interesting one. I think that Godsent did extremely good. Like, that was the game actually where Godsent took down Nova, X-Quest Death. And I think that here, Godsent, that they're showing such promise. If I want to see them take a chicken dinner, it would potentially be on the Sanhok game, because they actually pull their strength out of absolute mayhem in a game. So I think that they can do potentially really good. But really, like, it's ImPERium, it's Sanhok. Like, can you guess what's going to happen on Sanhok? No, you can't. You can't guess.
No, that's fair. That's fair. While we are kind of waiting for information for the next game to show up, at least for myself to join the room, let's just show the scores from the first 2 days combined, because we do have it on our screens, right?
Wait, first 2 days or games?
First 2 games.
Oh, I was like, how did you get 2 days?
Yeah. Like, sorry, cool. my bad. So it doesn't give a total scoring, but you can see, as far as I know anyway, but you can see that, oh no, it does actually, sorry, my apologies. A1 are currently first on 36 points, with Loops in second on 29, Blue Bees in third on the 29, and Secret Jin in 4th place on 29. So second, third, and fourth in the same amount of points.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why A1 currently are so high up there is because mainly they got so many kills on like both games. Like, first one, they got 8 kills despite going out 8 pretty early, and I think that's what, I can't read it, the graphics a little bit small. Is it like 6th or 8th position? I think that's a 6. They went out in 6th position and they still got 8 kills along the way, and then they got chickened in and they still got 9 kills. They are really consistent when it comes down to picking up those kills. So that's the main reason why, especially since the rule set changed now, chickened in is worth a lot less. You need to make up for that differentiation in points with making up with aggressive plays and picking up those kills, which is exactly what A1 Esports are doing here, which is what is rewarding them with the top 1 position so far. Yeah,
definitely. Looking down as well, you have Godsent in 7th with 19 points. Then you have BTR in 8th one, only 15 points. Do you think that's kind of to be expected? Do you think BTR maybe just not really revealing too much, and they're very confident with how they will show up in the global championship?
I'm gonna go back to what we had happen, like PMWL once again.
Yeah.
Bigetron have a weird tendency, after I do not know if it's on purpose or not, but they don't perform extremely well in like testing phases, or like, you know, matches that don't really matter too much. And like the moment they're like in a position where the matches are extremely important and they need to score those points is when you see Bigetron put all of their efforts, all their mind in what they're doing, and it's when they dominate the most. Like, we saw that, I think it was even in the scrims that we had for like PMWL East, we had like 1 day of scrims, we had like 4 games, I believe, and they did not perform at all. Yeah. And then you join into the PMWL, the first day, they got 2 chicken dinners in a row, almost 3, because their 3rd game, they got 2nd position. Yeah. So Bigetron literally, They can take anything. It's just scrims for Bigetron. They're just like, it's just scrims. Like, the moment it's tournament, it's like, oh, this is real shit now. Now we're going for it.
Honestly, I know Saku just said, oh, no, it's cool. It's all good. It's all good.
Just to say, I will not be joining on this next game because I got to go
start getting prepared. It's all good.
So I just want to join in for 1 game. Thanks for having me.
No worries. I'm going to go to break because the next room code has been given out. Don't know exactly when it starts. I'm just putting a random timer out there for you guys. But Max, thank you so much for joining me on game 2. You will be missed, to be fair, but I know you've got a busy day ahead.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm gonna go record some stuff in the studio, and I'll be seeing you guys on Tuesday, anyways.
Awesome.
Thank you guys for having me. I hope you had a fun time, and I'll see you next time on the official broadcast.
Awesome.
Bye.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I'll be back, guys, on your screens in actually a couple of minutes. It says 5 minutes, but it'll actually be a little bit quicker. Oh, and we are back for game 3 out of 4 here in the PMGC Scrims. My name is ImPERium. Thank you so much for joining me. I do apologize about any mistakes or the lack of action I'm showing. Definitely a little bit nervous, not gonna lie. Thank you very much to Max for joining me in game 2. Super appreciated, my friend. He's going to be analyzing or doing analysis for the PUBG Mobile Global Championship, and he's going to absolutely kick ass. And yeah, just thank you so much to everybody for tuning in. That's cool to respect all the teams, respect everybody in chat, and just be kind, be nice, treat people the way you want to be treated. We are going to be getting into this next game fairly quickly, so we will be going into this one pretty soon. So we had game 1 was won by Loops Esports, and we had game 2 won by A1. I'm going to show the updated scores while we wait for this next game to start in the next minute. So you can see in the updated scores, you can see on the left-hand side, you see total. A1 are currently in first place with 36 points off the back of that 24-point game 2. And even a 12-point in game 1, definitely kind of pretty consistent. And Loops, they only got 3 points in game 2, which means that they didn't have the best of overall. If they had had a better game 2, they probably would be in first. Blue Bees in third place. They just keep on trucking, 15 points and 14 points respectfully between the two games. You can't go wrong with that. And then Secret Jin in fourth place. Two pretty overall consistent results as well. So we are heading over to Sanhok for game 3 though. So that's going to be madness within itself. So I'm very, very excited as we do get into this game very shortly. I look to transition over. We do see a plane path that is overall a little bit north. So it is going to be a bit tougher for some of these teams to get towards the southern side. Even though we all know that in Sanhok you can generally get to wherever you want to go. It just means you're going to be on the flight path for a little bit longer before you do get to your drop spot. Godsent going to be dropping in Mong Nai. It makes sense because one thing that I observed, and a good few people have observed, is that the eastern side of the map is really not utilized by a good few of these teams. Futbolists and NAVI are going to be going to Hating. I'm going to be trying to keep an eye on the action. I'm not going to try and show the map as much as you guys prefer me to try and catch as much action as possible. So we'll have to wait and see who comes out in this fight in Hating. Trying to keep an eye. It's going to be initial couple of shots coming out across the board. Navi seem to be in a little bit of fire. And that's going to be a Lavazan knockdown. So Navi currently getting a little bit of a stranglehold. However, is going to be returned by Lutz. Going to confirm that kill. And where is the rest of Navi? The rest of Navi are really kind of nowhere near enough to punish. As it, oh my god, SKS from Tixie. No scope. Knockdown onto Lutz. Oh boy. Now let's see if they can do something with this. Oh boy has an AKM. No helmet, but who cares? No vest. Who cares? The fighting hat thing rages on. It is a 2v3. Actually, it's a 2v4 because you do still have a fourth member of Futbolists on the off angle. So Rome is going to be able to punish Old Boy the second he kind of moves away. And I think that's something Navi might be aware of. I'm going to bring it on over to this fight between... okay, actually, oh my lord. Boot Camp, baby. Boot Camp. Okay, Boot Camp has BTR. You have Loops. And you have RRQ Esports. Or Archer Gaming, should I say. Archer are going up against Loops. Loops are going to be pushing in. They're up as a full squad. Of course, they're waiting to round the corner. Pre-fire shots coming through. You see Kowalski is keeping an eye on BTR. The knockdown going to come through. Now it's just one player left standing Federal with the Tommy gun. Oh my god, Sung with the DBS knockdown. Sung with the DBS knockdown. And now it's going to be that little bit of a final blow. And that's going to be the squad wipe onto Archer inside boot camp. BTR will have heard that. Will they look to go in for the kill? It seems that way. Zuxi. Along with Luxie. And towards boot camp. Like our boys in the other side of this boot camp area. Trying to find a bit of a flank position. It is a 4v3 as BTR lost a player early on. Let's take it on over to this fighting Painan between RRQ and Konina Power, if I'm not mistaken. Konina Power indeed. Konina Power can't seem to get any kind of respite in any of their drop spots. Painan is a pretty hotly contested area, to be fair, in Sanhok. Having a quick look at this phase on circle is quite north. Still has Northwest Island and Southwest Island in play. As they do pan them over to the fight between Futbolists and NAVI. And Molotov comes through to clean up a couple of members of Futbolists. So now it turns into a 2v1. Levazin, he's not going to get the revive into Selke just yet. Old boy's going to come in on the side. Flanking around, coming on through. The pre-fire shots go in. And that's going to be a knockdown on the old boy. Confirmed a kill. That was a little bit of a risky fight. And they turn it around off the back of the revive on the Selke. Futbolists come out on top in Ha Ting as a 3-man team. Good stuff. Now, going back over to Painan. I hope this is the action you want to see, guys. I hope I'm doing a better job compared to the first two games. And once again, I apologize for any mistakes made. Konina Power. Axer. Looking over towards RRQ. Both these teams do have to overall start moving in. Talking about moving in. BTR. Kind of moving in around boot camp. Kind of hovering on the edge side, right? And that's a good way of going about things. But I think Loops have realized that might be the case. And look at Kowalski. Kowalski is actually going outside of boot camp to try and find those off angles. And that could really work out for them. Adin's still in the main building. Federal is flanking around to side, followed by Curio. So it is a bit of a 2-1-1 for BTR. Sorry, not BTR, Loops, should I say. BTR are more of a 1-1-1 with Zuxi hovering down on the low ground outside boot camp. The good area to play around because you can disengage. A1 still in Paradise Resort. Godsent moving in from Mong Nai. Looking to hold down a strong position inside the circle. 4am. A little bit of a similar drop start in Lukwai. Now moving in towards the central part of the circle. Execute. Have one player, Konina Power, close by to them. But overall, they're split up on the western side of the map. I was wondering where that fourth player of Konina Power was, to be fair. I didn't really question it too much because just didn't really question it too much. Loops are biding their time in boot camp in terms of going for an engagement on BTR. Luxie is now all the way over in the warehouses, so if BTR really get caught out, I don't know if they're going to be able to deal with it. And that's where Microboy's gone back across the road. Zuxi might be looking to do the same, but has Kowalski been able to pinch him out? Even grab a little bit of information? I worry about Zuxi. I do worry about him. Because on one hand, he has a good position to catch out to the Loops players, but at the end of the day, Kowalski, come on, look a little bit to your left, Kowalski. Look a little bit to your left, and you'll be able to find your victim. There you come on, he's got to see. He's got to see. No, he doesn't see him prone down. Luxie finds Creo. Now he's going to find him. Zuxi is going to get spotted and knocked down by the rotating Loops player. That will, of course, allow that revive to be pulled off. Nicely. Zuxi is going to have nowhere to go because he's on his own. So now it's going to be up to Luxy and Microboy to do something about this area. Noobs is finding Gonzo, who's the 4th player of Konina Power. Zeus are moving in on towards 4 Angry Men. Let's see what happens there. And the blue zone of phase 1 is closing in. It's a bit of a passive part of the game right now. Luxy's still bleeding now. He does get finished up. So it's Microboy and Luxy. They can disengage away from the back of Boot Camp, in my opinion, pretty well. At least now, but the longer they leave it, the harder it's going to be, because they should recognize the fact that Kowalski probably isn't really going to stop flanking. He doesn't have to. He doesn't need to go anywhere. We'll have to wait and see. Team Secret now coming in from the southeastern side of this map. Let's pan on over to where A1 are looking towards. Being Ginny, Sinister, Dante, and Jax. Phase 2, phase 2, phase 2. Where is it going to go? It centers up quite nicely. Ooh, this is an interesting one, right? Because pretty much all the teams who are inside phase 1 confidently don't have to move. They don't have to move. So it's going to be all about Futbolists, Execute, Konina Power, RRQ, and Team Secret. Team Secret don't have far to go. Zeus might move closer towards 4 Angry Men. But I think they have a little bit of an idea where 4 Angry Men are. You will have to be careful of the fact that there could be a couple of teams coming in from behind them. Yeah, I'm doing my best to kind of stay on one fight at the moment before it does end. As well as trying to catch more fights. BTR is actually punishing Loops. Wow, another kill coming through. So Kowalski, I think, is on his own. As a revive is looking to be pulled out. So it's going to be a 1v1 in this area of Boot Camp. Kowalski looks to cook up a grenade. Is that going to connect? Indeed it does. BTR get wiped to the ground and Loops will survive. Turn the volume up, but I might have to turn it back down. So nice stuff coming out from Loops. Team Secret on the 4 Angry Men from the back line as well. That's pretty far out. 4 Angry Men are down to just 3 players. You do have Zeus with 1 player knocked down. I don't know if they're going to be able to get that revive on Icy. I don't even know if it's worth getting the revive on Icy, to be perfectly honest. I also forgot how to pronounce 4 Angry Men. Zingy. Okay, I think it's Zingy. Yeah. Okay, Zingy. 4 Angry Men. I hope I'm saying it right anyway. Seems like Zeus are going to look to disengage. They did indeed lose Icy. That's a confirmed. Blue Zone is closing in. RQ and Konina Power have both disengaged away from Painan respectfully. And now A1 on the side of Secret Jin. Secret Jin is getting in on this fight. Kenzo was knocked down and killed early on, so it's just 4Boy and Cosmo really left standing. Trying to keep on one fight, guys. So you know where I stand and I know where I stand. A1 have Jax knocked down, but he should be able to get revived up because they're still in Paradise Resort. Looking over towards Godsent, they're looking pretty good in this circle. Abrupt Slayers just kind of biding their time. I don't know what's up with my keyboard. I can't move around from left to right. Hopefully that fixes itself. and Power. So, like, I'm trying not to go into the map too much. But when there's nothing really going on, as Phase 3 once again centers up, Futbolists might be looking pretty good in this circle. Whereas the teams down south are going to find themselves under a little bit more pressure. Most notably, Konina Power, RRQ, and Execute. Execute, if they pull off that rotation pretty quickly, they should be able to utilize the western side of the circle. Can't move from left to right on my emulator. What the hell? Yeah, so I'm just going to have to try and show people's perspectives. Abrupt Slayers are going to get pretty close to side of Secret Jin. Jan staying prone down. He hears the footsteps in amongst. Oh, he's going to catch out one. Catch out two. Nicely done by Abrupt Slayers. The silence killers of the lobby. They do catch out two players of Secret Jin. Now it's just going to be one left standing. Gonna be doing his own little bit of secret camping on the side. Thrown down. Now it's going to be looking for the shots. DBS to the face, my friend. Oh, my lord. Oh, GZ with the 1, feed 2, and overpowered DBS shotgun blast to the face. A Secret Jin takeout, Abrupt Slayers. Oh, what a delight. What an absolute delight. But now Loops might be smelling a little bit of blood. Well, can JGZ pull off another one? Moving in, he's going to get taken out by an MK14 Curlio, and Loops will continue on in this game. Power on a 2-2 split on the northern side. You have A1 still inside Paradise Resort. Godsent on the eastern side of the circle. 4 angry men down on the south side. You have RRQ. They took out Konina Power. I didn't catch the fight, but I did see it and notice it on the kill feed. Execute made a great rotation on the western side of the map, which was what I expected. Holding on to that compound, that's relatively high ground. They don't get that much information to the east of them. They're going to do something. Really, it's all about Power's 2-2 split, in my opinion. I still can't... I don't know what's up with my controls, but I can't seem to move from left to right. It's really weird. It's really weird. It's really weird. I can't seem to move from left to right. It's stupid. Next phase does pop up, and I think Power 888 will have to look to join up as a full squad. RRQ are going to get knocked down into one of the Zeus players as they try and fight their way north to head into the circle. They haven't been able to catch a break. But will they get taken out as 4 angry men are looking to play around us? They still have to move into the circle themselves, though, so they can't really afford to take too much of a fight as of right now. They're going to be heading towards Paradise Resort, where A1 are looming on the wings inside the circle. And Godsent are now going to be coming in on the eastern side. It is relative high ground, so it's a pretty good spot for Godsent to be. But it is, of course, with it being Sanhok, it's a little bit out in the open. Futbolists are in the north. It's a bit of a compromising position that they find themselves in, to be perfectly honest. I don't know why I can't move in. Oh my god, it's so annoying. Nope. There you go, now we're back. Sorry about that, guys. Just had to Try and fix my controls as Sinister gets a knockdown onto NAVI and A1. Now start to make a bit of a push on the northern side of Paradise Resort, looking to punish the high ground players of Godsent. Team Secret on the 4 Angry Men down on the south side. So 4 Angry Men are getting a little bit caught out. There are 2 players down, 2 players left coming in towards the Paradise Resort terrain. So Team Secret now are coming in behind Godsent, who are already punished by the likes of A1. So will they be able to punish Godsent even more? They do have 3 players up. Highboy, Mad Toy, and Rex. Now as they edge closer, they are sticking a little bit close to the coastal line. Smokes are going to be thrown out. Godsent should hear and the footsteps being heard up in some way, shape, or form. They're prone down. Grenades are now going to start flying between both sides. As you do see another fight going on between Zeus and 4 Angry Men. Zeus get taken out. 4 Angry Men pick up another couple of kills. Not before A1 are going to come in and do something for them. But now as Power888 hold onto the central part of the circle, the fight between Godsent and Team Secret is going to go down. Team Secret being put under pressure. Another knockdown and another knockdown. Mad Toy is going to get confirmed that Godsent clean up on the eastern side and they win out that fight. Maybe it just wasn't aggressive enough from Team Secret. Maybe they gave a little bit too much time for Godsent to react to that. 33's Svan is going to go down, followed by the last remaining player of 4 Angry Men. Rokas is knocked down. NAVI, Marley, and Rees are left standing. The Irish God, let's see if he can do something against the Futbolists side. NAVI is going to be coming in. It's going to be that prone down position. The drop shot coming through. NAVI has nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, and now it's Rees all on his lonesome. He's now going to look for another player. Futbolists. The blue zone is, of course, doing a hell of a lot of damage for the last player of Godsent. If he's able to creep ahead of Futbolists, though, let's see if he'll be able to hold on. Lutz is now going to be last player standing here. Power888 followed by Execute. And that's going to be the end of Power888 at the hands of Execute. Sorry I didn't catch that. And now Loops are getting punished by Execute. Now that is it time for Execute to shine in boot camp. Still up as a full squad. Fate, Fame Boys, Zute, and Noobs, should I say. Can A1 off the back of a Miramar chicken dinner pull something out of the bag on the southern side? They do have to move across the road, so they have to go outside the circle. Reeves was able to get a grenade, which you saw, to take down the last player of Futbolists. Oh no, Power888 are still in this game. I apologize. I thought they were out at the hands of Execute. It's a little bit hard to keep up with everything, so I do apologize about that while trying to control the camera. But Reeves, it's going to be a 1v3. He can really do nothing. He can't really go anywhere. He's just got to try and hover around the players of Power. He has a little bit of a rock creeping on his side. He's going to go down at the hands of Grenade by Stops, and he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks. Okay, I don't know what happened there. That was a little bit of a bug, but I'm back in the game. We're down to the final 4 teams. A1, Power888, Loops, and Execute. Nobody's in the center circle, right? Because it's all flat. You don't really want to be in the center of the circle. So they're all hovering on the edge. A1, they have 2 players across, but one of them gets caught out. It's Jax left on his own. Loops are doing a great job in this game. 2 players left up. Power888 coming down from the high ground. They're going to be put under a lot of pressure by likes of Execute. And I wonder, do Execute have themselves spread out enough? None of these teams are inside the circle, though. That's the benefit, but it's also the risk. Because they all have to move. Nowhere really has a safe spot. Other than maybe Power888, to be perfectly honest. Even though it's still high ground, they are inside the circle. So they can kind of stay where they are. and punish people from high above. Boys gets knocked down. Boys gonna get confirmed. Execute. 3 players left top. We have Power888 to one side. You Loops to the other side. Kowalski, you're gonna be coming in on the side of the rock. But Kurilo's gonna get dropped by Noobs with the Thompson. And Kowalski now is gonna be last player standing. That's gonna be Loops. Take it out. 3 teams left up. A1, Execute, and Power888. Execute. Still hold on to 3 players, although fate has gone down to the blue zone. They are nowhere to go. They're pinched once again by 2 sides. And it is going to be Noobs that is just holding on for dear life. Power888 now roaming their way down the hill. A1 ready to strike. But no, that's not going to be the case because Noobs comes in, finds the last player of A1, and now he's going to come in to get a knockdown onto one of the Power888 players. A grenade is going to be cooked up, but it's not going to be enough time to strike, and Power888 claim this chicken dinner. Coming down from the hills, should I say. At the very end, they were benefited by the fact that the circle didn't go towards any other team, and it went much closer towards them. It was also that 4-way fight where you had Execute pinched by a number of teams, and I gotta say, Execute dealt with that, in my opinion, very, very well. A1 also pulling out another consistent result. Are they going to be the consistent team of the PUBG Mobile Global Championship? Interesting. Loops in 4th. Getting 6, 10, 12 kills off the back of taking out BTR in boot camp. They picked things up and they went from there, and they really played this game really well. Godsent in 5th. Again, off the back of a solid Miramar game. 5 kills, 5th place. Nothing to be sniffed at from the EU side. Futbolists in 6th. Again, they took out NAVI early on. And they got 6 kills. 4 Angry Men in 7th with 2 kills. Team Secret in 8th with 1 kill. Again, maybe their engagement onto Godsent was a little bit too slow, right? Where they just gave too much time for Godsent to react. RRQ 9th with 4 kills. Zeus in 10th with 2 kills. Secret Jin in 11th with 7 kills. You had Abrupt Slayers in 12th with 3 kills. You had Konina Power in 13th with 0 kills. You had BTR in 14th with 3 kills. You had NAVI in 15th with 1 kill. You had Bluebees in 16th with 0 kills. You had Archer in 17th with 0 kills. You had Alpha 7 in 18th with 1 kill. Those were your scores for... Those were your results for game 3. Game 3 out of 4. Again, apologies, guys, if I'm making any mistakes with the camera. I am doing my best to try and observe one fight at a time and to capture all of that fight kind of thing. Oh, man. It's a pretty intense game. Really happy with how A1 are being consistent. They in some way, shape, or form have kind of come out of nowhere to a certain extent. And yeah, can't really argue with that. Can't argue with how they're playing at all. Of course, they are the Bangladesh representatives, so much love to the Bangladesh community. A1 are representing you guys massively in these games. Massively with these games. Oh, man. So we've got one more game to go. again, thank you very much. Thank you everybody for tuning in and supporting the stream and watching these teams. Yeah, I really can't. It's hard trying to deal with all the observing and trying to deal with the camera, and I'm actually running a double stream setup. Because yeah, I'm running a double stream setup, so it's not the easiest of times. So bear with me on any mistakes I do make. But yeah, coming into the last game, let's give you I don't know if I'm gonna get the graphic for the scores after game 3, but let's show you the graphic of game 2. This was after 2 games, right? After 2 games, you had A1 in first, Loops in second, Bluebees in third, Secret Jin in fourth. Now, both A1 and Loops got a good result once again, so I think they'll increase that lead against the others. But with Execute and Godsent getting a good result in Sanhok, that should see them kind of push up, as well as Power888. Even Futbolists didn't have the bad results, so yeah, it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. But that was after 2 games. I will try to give you guys an updated scoring after the break, because we are going into Vikendi for the last game of the day, boys and girls. It's the last game of the day here in these scrims for the PUBG Mobile Global Championship teams. Really great gameplay. I hope you guys are enjoying it. If you have any feedback as well on my commentary, please feel free to shoot me. If you have any feedback in general, I'm always open to it. I do my best. But on that note, I'm going to go for a bit of a break. I don't know exactly when the next game starts, but we'll bring up a timer for you guys. And if it has to be extended, If I come back sooner than the timer, then happy days. So on that note, thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. We'll be back for the final game of the day in a couple of minutes. Oh, we are back for the final game of the day. Yeah, final game of the day here in the PUBG Mobile Global Championship Scrims, brought to you by myself, ImPERium, and thank you so much to everybody for tuning in. Thank you so much to Sakamai for putting pretty much all of this on, organizing it herself, and yeah, she's an absolute legend. So much love to her, and even just to everybody for helping in the background. You know, people do it without really getting the recognition they deserve at times, to be perfectly fair. So thank you to everybody who helps to put on these kind of scrims, especially in preparation for PUBG Mobile Global Championship that starts in just 2 days. Insane. Oh man. We are going to be we're going to be getting into the last game of the day. I'm actually going to give you an updated list of scores from the last, including the last game, should I say. So there you go. Here is an updated scores after 3 games. Again, kind of a little bit like I expected. A1 Esports on 54 points total, with Loops Esports on 49, followed by Power888 on 41, and Secret Jin in 4th on 37. Futbolists on 31, Execute on 31. Godsent, I thought they might be a little bit higher up, but they are in 7th. Execute moving ahead. But yeah, no worries. We are getting into this game. Let's move on over to the in-game transition, boys and girls, as you see the flight path of Vikendi, baby. Going from the south, east, pretty much the northwest. Insane. Let's wait and see how these teams do look to drop, as I do turn my music down. Oh, my lord, my lord, my lord. Not gonna lie, it's a little bit stressful, but I'm doing my best to have a little bit of fun. I hope you guys are too. Try not to make too many mistakes, but I can't help it if I do. Looking over, we have Abrupt Slayers going to be landing in Hot Springs Encounter with Godsent. I'll keep an eye on that for now, as Volnova has, it seems like, Archer, Konina Power, and BTR. So I'm going to pan on over to that, because it's a 3-team fight that is probably going to kick off fairly soon, even though Volnova is one of those places where you don't necessarily need to take a fight because there's so many houses. Actually, no, let's bring it on over to Abrupt Slayers and Godsent. His Hungry Box does get taken out, does get confirmed by Marley. That's a bit of a trade between Godsent and Abrupt Slayers. Good thing is that NAVI is yet to be confirmed, so you can, in theory, get the revive off. I'm going to keep on this fight for now. On top is going to be kind of on top of the edge of the rock. Hunter is going to be in backline with the UMP, and then Leon is going to be further back with the PB boys. And I'm going to bring it over to another fight because it's a little bit, so to speak, boring. RRQ, NAVI both dropped in Grokka. So let's see if this fight kind of breaks out. Ooh, Beer 11 is going to get dropped by Meku on that rotation. So will that be the time for NAVI to strike? You can see the spread they have. It's a bit of a 2-1-1 spread. I love the flank that's coming out from Matic to get onto the higher ground overlooking the rest of Grokka. With Futbolists and Loops also having their own fight. Actually, I don't know where, to be perfectly honest. Oh my lord, it's actually down south of Dino Park inside the compound. I'm going to hang on over to there. As Futbolists do what they can to get the better of Loops. It's going to be one player left standing, Kowalski. Going to be on his own, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. There's a little bit of a third party, pre-fire shots coming through from the Loops, from the Futbolists members. The Loops is still surviving for now. He's going to get knocked down on the ROM. But it is going to be Lutz that comes in to get the final blow. Yeah, it was a Secret Jin that was getting a bit of a third party. As Cosmos might be able to find Lutz. Cosmos, can you see him? No way. No way. Come on. Cosmos? Oh, you couldn't see him, my friend. Zapfor boy. Coming in on the other side, down on the lower ground. Shots are going to come through from Cosmos. It's a 1-1 split. Pinch coming through. A Zapfor boy. Holding on down to the lower ground. Good things that Secret Jin are still a full squad. Keeping an eye. I don't want to move over to another fight too quickly. I'm afraid. Because, yeah, Zeus have taken out A1. A1 have had a bit of a poor end to the day as NAVI are trying to hold off. And they do take down RRQ. I missed that fight. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm trying to keep it on to one fight at a time. And then I miss another fight. And oh man, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry, but the game will go on. Futbolists are up as 3 members. Rome is inside that truck. But the rest of Secret Jin are now going to be looking to join up with the rest of the squad. Hot Springs counter fight is still going down. Godsent are the kind of team that don't mind fighting in the early game and don't mind being in the blue zone in the early parts of the game. So they thrive off this kind of situation, to be perfectly honest. They're still up as a full squad. They're surrounding the 2 members of Abrupt Slayers. It's Leon and on top. Again, Abrupt Slayers are playing with a not so full roster because of the fact that a few of their players are traveling to Dubai as they speak. NAVI and Godsent on top is going to get that knockdown on Darokas. NAVI's going to find Leon. Hunter now coming on the backside. It's going to be a second knockdown onto Marley. Marley's yet to be confirmed, but NAVI comes in to get the strike on towards one of the Abrupt Slayer players. So it's a 2 against 1. Reese finds on top to confirm that kill. Now with the M4 in his hands, pre-fire shots are coming through. He's going to see that player going down, and the Irish God strikes up, and Abrupt Slayers have been eliminated. Godsent will, more importantly, survive as a full squad. I don't really talk too much about this phase 1 circle. It's in between both sides. I'll talk about it a little bit later because Futbolists are being put under pressure by Secret Jin. With the DBS once again. Is that JGZ's power play? The DBS? Is that something he's going to run in the Global Championship? That's a really interesting play. Is JGZ going to run the DBS in the global championship. Rom gets spot out and Zap4Boy gets the final kill. Yes, Futbolists down and out. Konina Power have actually kind of disengaged away from this. So have BTR, to be fair. It's really kind of Archer, who's a team that have the majority of players inside Volnova. Still. Now, it's close to the edge of the circle, so it's really not too hard for them to hold down. I like the fact that they're playing the roof plays for the most part, so they get a lot of information. All 3 of the 4 players are on roofs. You can see, like, Gonzo surely has to be spotted out. Now, Fabian has no helmet. That's the only thing I worry about. Sung has no helmet. Ionix has a level 2. Okay. And Insu has level 2, level 1. Team Secret are going to get pretty close to a team down on the southern side of this Mount Kresnik terrain. It's going to be Alpha 7. That's in play. Oh, but Power888 from behind is actually going to get a knockdown and a kill onto one of the Alpha 7 players. So Power888 looking up towards the Mount Kresnik area, spots a player, takes him out. Blue zone's closing in. 4 angry men are on the north of Mount Kresnik. That's a great place to hold on to. And this is one thing I was wondering. Senna is going to look for Power888 along the way. It is going to be Power888 against Team Secret as well. So that's something that we'll have to kind of think about. So Alpha 7 could third party this really nicely if they play their cards right. Shots by stops. He's going to have to prone down. Senna does find you, high boy. So that's really going to put a little bit of pressure on the Team Secret. I think Power888 might look to just disengage away from this, to be perfectly honest. And just leave kind of Gooey on his own. Because it still keeps him up as a 3-man team if they kind of sacrifice him. Interesting. Of course, right now they're protected from Alpha 7. But as they move closer to the edge of this compound, they might be exposed a little bit more. Stops is going to be getting that pre-fire shots off. Allow the rest of his team to go in towards the edge of the compound in time. The revive comes through onto U-High, which is going to leave Team Secret up as a 3-man team. Yeah, TTOP gets knocked down, followed by Ice. So that third party is really working out in their favor for the side of Alpha 7. We said that might be the case, and they're not even looking to push it yet because they don't need to, right? They just don't need to. Both teams are getting punished at the hands of Alpha 7 and each other. Oh, gonna look for the last remaining, or one of the last players of Power888. Then behind the tree. Hi, boy. There, gets a knockdown onto stops. It was a bold move, Cotton. Thought it might pay off, but it didn't. Now Power888 are down to 2 players. Gooey's going to get the revive on the TTOP. We do see Archer and Konina Power kick things off their fight down in the Volnova area. Phase 2 has popped up and it's centralized once again. But with the eastern side is completely unoccupied. The eastern side of the river bar Zeus right now. Godsent could look to make use of that eastern side unoccupied. The 4 angry men have NAVI and Execute getting close to them. So let's pan on over to Execute. As Noobs gonna send himself in. Oh my god, 33 Svan. No way. No way. No way. He has not been spotted. Are you serious? Are you serious? Oh my god. And now, old boy. going to get punished and taken out by one of the 4 a.m. players. Now, 33's fan, even though he's not able to help his team physically, he's been able to communicate to the rest of his side, hey, there's a team coming in on the other side of Mount Kresnik. So you got to be careful not to be tunnel visioned onto the NAVI fight. I can't believe 33's fan has not been spotted out yet. Oh my god. Zute one side, Fame Boys on the other? Insane. I can't believe that. I do have to bring on over to another fight though, as BTR are going to find two of the Secret Jin players. Konina Power are also trying to hold on in towards the Archer gaming side. Navi finds a player at 4 a.m. going to be knocked down. It's going to put them under a little bit more pressure. Revenge is a dish best served cold in the mountains of Vikendi. As Navi are down to a 3-man team off the back of losing Old Boy. Pushing their way up on towards the Mount Kresnik area. Phase 3 did pop up and it did centralize once again. You still have Power 888, you got Team Secret, and you now have Blue Bees coming in from the sidelines. Right? So there's going to be another team joining in the mix. Alpha 7 actually moved down into Podvosto. They've been able to grab a lot of information from that area. Konina Power onto Archer Gaming, still inside this blue zone. Let's at least show you guys what they're doing, as it is just going to be Robadini looking for the last player in behind the wall as they do load up. Shots come through. Robadini's going to find that knockdown. DBS going to come into play, but I think he's going to be knocked down to the blue zone. Indeed he will. Will he get revived up? That is the question. And now Blue Bees are also kind of punishing the side of Secret Jin coming in from the outside on those vehicles. The vehicles are going to be coming into play. They're actually going to go right into this compound. No, they're actually going to go right past. They're going to rotate right past and go in to Podvosto, where Alpha 7 are waiting in the wings. Oh my lord, I worry about the side of Secret Jin, although they stop just behind that area, so they're not going to do anything about this. Still 33's fan has not been spotted out by Execute. Not being spotted out by Execute. Navi and the rest of 4 a.m. are going to go for a bit of a firefight. The knockdown nearly coming through from either side, taking that pinch of damage behind the wall. 4 a.m. Suck is going to be coming through. I'm sorry, but I forgot how to pronounce his name, as my bad. Meku is knocked down. Will Matic be able to get the revive up? I think that's going to be the case. Tixie was taken out. Grenade is going to... Is that a grenade? Oh, that was a Molotov being thrown out. Narrowly missed. Just a little bit too far. Again, Execute are now coming in from behind because I think they heard those shots. They might be looking to third parties. But again, 33's fan is able to provide a relevant amount of information. The revive has been pulled off onto the third member of 4 Angry Men. But it is so good that gets knocked down quite heavily. Noobs finds Maddox. That third party is coming through. Meku now really can't peek too much higher because Noobs has all the information he needs on him. 33's fan cannot move a muscle. His heart must be skipping a beat right now as he stays prone down, as he has for pretty much the majority of this game. Still, the fight down on the south side is also looking to edge closer and closer to finishing off because the circle has shifted up north. It could be a Podvosto finish. There's a standoff in play between Team Secret and Power 888. Blue Bees are also still up as a full squad down on the south side. Alpha 7 now might be looking for the last players of Secret Jin. They moved in. They might not have known that Alpha Gaming were there. Swag. And the rest of Alpha 7 are together. Senas, Vituk, and Swag. They're all in the same building. One's in the low ground, one's in the high ground. Molotov did suppress the members of Alpha 7, but now might be their time to strike. JGZ, does he still have the DBS in his hand? He does still have the DBS in his backpack. He could utilize that. His teammate, Kenzo, is also on the roof. Both are on the roof. Shots are being fired up by JGZ. You can't pull off DBS shots from this high up. They're not really going to work out. All the while, the blues on the phase 4 is closing in and teams are getting closer to each other. BTR have been able to go ahead of Godsent, but Godsent are still up as a full squad. Konina Power surviving down on the southwestern side of the circle. Execute just ignored NAVI, which kind of makes sense, and they've opted for a more centralized position inside the circle. All the while, 33's fan is still where he has been for quite a decent bit of this game. Opportunity missed as Lufa finds Highboy. This fight now is going to kick off as Team Secret is down to just 5 shots as the Blue Bees team come in. The Japanese side looks to put a stinger onto Team Secret's final game of today's scrims, and indeed that's going to be them taking out honey, sugar, bees and the pollen attracted to their killers. That's going to be the end of Team Secret. There is still Power 888 and play around that area, but the thing is, do Blue Bees know that they are there? Did they just think it was one squad in that area? Podvolsto is still in play for this circle. 11 teams left. BTR down on the eastern side of Podvolsto, the eastern side of the river. As JGZ is going to get knocked down, the DBS is not going to be used until he gets revived up. If he gets revived up, which I don't think is going to be the case because there's just one player left standing. Execute actually capturing a nice little bit of a third party onto, not third party, but a pinch on the edge of the circle, and that's going to be the end of NAVI. Nice play, although with a little bit of help of Konina Power, that's going to also alert Execute to Konina Power's position where Noobs is able to get shot off onto Robadini. Black-White is now going to be left on his own until he can get the revive up. Might be able to pull off that revive. 4 a.m. they go down. 33 Sven along with the side of Secret Jin. So we have 8 teams left standing. Blue Bees still on the south side. NAVI knocks himself out, I think, coming down from the high ground, which is a bit of a feels bad man indeed, but at least he survives up against BTR, and they do kind of rotate past them, and they hold on to the northern side or the northeastern side of the circle. Zeus coming in from the north as well. They have 3 players left up. The next phase is going to be showing up pretty soon as Konina Power do pull off that revive, so they are going to survive as a 2-man team. Execute. Oh, they might get caught off by Zeus. Dute is going to find Robadini. Execute now going to look for the engage onto Konina Power. They find it with the help of Blue Bees, and that's going to be another squad wipe overall in the favor of Execute. And the circle does shift down south, and Execute were very clever with that rotation. Now Noobs is going to send himself forward, still on the western side of this road, outside Podvolsto, which I think is very valuable to hold onto in my perfect opinion. It does put pressure onto the likes of BTR, who are making their way across, and he's rising is with that vehicle, but he's going to go down on the low ground by the edge of the circle after shots from Alpha 7 are going to send him packing just a little bit away from the circle. Godsent could look to make use of that on the outside of the circle to move in from the north and maybe take on Zeus. Zeus have a long way to go. It is going to be up to Blue Bees, though in my opinion, if they can take out Power 888, then I think they have this game set in their sights. But the thing is, Power 888 have not moved a muscle. They have not moved a muscle. TTOP and Gozy just stayed inside that tiny little building. Blue Bees haven't checked it. They haven't scouted. They're on the roof of it. They haven't checked it. Now Zeus do pull in on towards the Podvosto city. That's a risky play. Rokas is going to get caught out by BTR. Godsent actually went for a direct push down on the side of the bridge. And honestly, I don't like that. That was really poor by Godsent, in my opinion. You should utilize the north to your advantage and hovered around the edge of Podvosto. At least the revive will come through. Marley is flanking around on the side, trying to get a little bit of information onto BTR. BTR are just about outside the circle. They will have to move in, but they can at least edge a circle camp Godsent. Godsent are going to have two teams who contest it, Zeus and BTR. Zeus are just on the eastern edge of the circle, or southeastern edge of the circle. Blue Bees could punish a number of these teams on the outside, and Alpha 7 inside a tiny little compound that Secret Jin initially rotated to when they did go to Podvosto. Godsent have been able to move into those buildings. You have one member of BTR on the roof. Then you have the other two members of BTR inside the building up above that area. The thing is, do they know that Ryzen is on the roof? And just like the AMD GPU, will Ryzen look to get the better of the Godsent NVIDIA boys, so to speak? As he's going to tick down on damage. I don't think he's going to be able to pull off a first aid in time. No, he isn't. He's going to get knocked down to the blue zone. That's a little bit of a feels bad man indeed. The circle does go in the favor of Alpha 7. Blue Boys does not, Blue B, should I say, is going to knock down Micro Boy of BTR. Ryzen is going to get knocked down, or killed, should I say. So it leaves Zuxi left on his own. It's a little bit of an anticlimactic finish to this game, unless things really heat up, as teams are just kind of being a little bit calculated and on their own 2 feet, as Godsent are pushing in as a full squad, playing very unified, I must say, as they're respecting their opponents. They send Luxie packing outside that building. Packing outside that building by the side of the wall. The Blue Bees still have Power 888, by the way, inside that tiny little building. But now with the blue zone going to be closing in the next 15 seconds, Power 888 will have to disengage away. Execute have gotten on towards rocks overlooking Alpha 7. So Execute looking then on a very high note in today's scrim. Rokus does find a member of Blue Bees. This fight is going to kick off as Blue Bees look to send themselves in. Lufa is now going to be the last player standing for Blue Bees. But NAVI opens the door. Knock knock, who's dead? 50 bullets in my head. Power 888 are going to get punished now on the outside of the circle as they do move away from that building. Godsent blows up that vehicle. They gain control and they suppress the members of Blue Bees. You just still have the last player standing from BTR. We know what he can do. Luxie, he's a sneaky devil. He's going to play in the edge of the blue zone as it does close in. Fame Boys finds Zeus. Zeus is going to get taken out. They're down to just 2 players. Execute are controlling the northern side of the circle, as Godsent are controlling the eastern side of this circle. BTR, Luxie is just looking to heal up. Blue Bees gets taken out. That's Godsent ruling the Roost. Reese finds the last player along with Rokus. Execute, hold on to that rock. Godsent do have to move across the road. They're going to be out in the open. There's going to be a last player, Zeus, in their way. As Luxie does find Godsent, he does get taken out for his trouble. But is that the damage done onto Godsent? Is that the damage done onto the European side in the final game of the PUBG Mobile Global Championship Scrims? 4 teams left standing. Execute, Alpha 7, Zeus, and Godsent. Execute now closing and encapsulating this compound one by one by the side of the walls. Abele from Zeus, who's the last player standing for his side, is cowering behind a rock, looking for an opportune moment to strike. Phase 8 blue zone is closing in, my friends. And Godsent do get the revives up, and Marley's going to get dropped like a hat by Alpha 7 along with Execute. NAVI is really going to be the only one left on his own. No smokes in play. Nowhere to run. Nowhere to hide. But Fake gets knocked down. That gives Godsent a little bit of time. A little bit of time to move in. Breeze will most likely bleed to his death. Abele gets inside the vehicle and he's going to push in. What the hell, Abele? Okay, you do make it inside the building. As he's going to look to jump shot his way through. He's going to get looked to, taken out from behind. 2 sliver of health. Less than 25. Alpha 7 are still inside that building. They're still up as a 3-man team. Abele gets confirmed. Execute now have the focus as NAVI holds in on his own. He's going to get taken out by Alpha 7 and we're down to the final 2 teams inside this compound. Fake gets a knockdown onto one of the Alpha 7 players. Zute jump shots in. He can get the knockdown. The teamwork comes through. And even though Zute gets knocked down, Execute comes in from the side to get the chicken dinner for their team. Execute closing out game 4 in Vikendi, baby. Nicely done. 6 kills for Zute, the North American maestro, the most experienced competitive player at the global stage for North American region. Shines through for his side here in the last game of the day. Not to dismiss the rest of the team though. Fame Boys, Noobs and Fate put in the work, put in the time, put in the effort. And a very well-rounded game for Execute. Alpha 7 with 2 kills and 2nd place. They moved into Podvosto fairly early in this game. And even though they didn't grab as many kills as I maybe thought, they still got 2nd place. Godsent in 3rd, getting 3 and 2, 5, 5 and 2, 7, 7 2 is 9 kills for the European side. Right now, Godsent are looking more dangerous compared to a lot of teams in these scrims when it comes to aggression, when it comes to firepower, when it comes to kills. If they can transfer that confidence, if they can transfer that aggression into the PUBG Mobile Global Championship, along with a sprinkle of strategic play, Godsent could rise. You see them surprise a lot of teams. Zeus getting 4th with 4 kills. BTR, it's their best result of the day as far as I know. Not surprising it's on Vikendi. They are known to be very strong on the map. But it was a little bit of a lackluster end to their run. Getting 3 kills. Blue Bees in 6th with 3 kills. Maybe missed an opportunity. Who knows? Don't know. It's always hard to tell. Went on those last couple of circle shifts. Power888 in 7th with 3 kills. Konina Power in 8th with 5 kills. Secret Jin in 9th. Secret Jin in 9th with 4, 5, 6, 7 kills. 4 Angry Men in 10th with 2 kills. NAVI in 11th with 7 kills. Team Secret in 12th with 2 kills. You had Archer in 13th with 1 kill. You had Futbolists in 14th with 2 kills. You had you had the side of Abrupt Slayers in 15th with 0 kills. You had RRQ in 16th with 0 kills. You had A1 in 17th with 1 kill. Unfortunately, a poor end to the day for A1, considering how strong they looked. And Loops in 18th with 1 kill. So, 2 teams that kind of did really well the last 2 games went out 1st and 2nd in today's games. So really, can't really complain with how all the teams did across the board. I would say that that probably Team Secret are lacking quite a bit. I'm not going to say BTR lacking a bit because they're the essentially the reigning world champions, right? They're the World League East champions. They won the global championship last year in Malaysia. So you can't really kind of, you know, I'm reserved on BTR, right? You know what they can do. We all know what they can do. Blue Bees, very impressive Blue Bees. Really impressive how Blue Bees are playing. A1, solid execute again. Nice aggression in that Vikendi game. Nice control. I want to see more of that, guys. I want to see more of that, right? You know, you made the very calculated decision to disengage away from the Navi fight at the right time and play for the position inside the circle. And that was really well, because coming down from Mount Kresnik, it's a pain in the hoo-ha anyway, right? It's a pain in the ass. But because you did that earlier, you were able to punish Navi. Then you were able to punish Konina Power. It was just really nicely played. And then you moved into the circle from the eastern side of the road outside of Podvos. So held on to a rocking area, overlooked a lot of teams. It was just like, in the fact that I believe they had all 4 members up till the very end. Yeah, it speaks for itself. Speaks for itself. Great end to the day and great set of games. I think we are going to be able to show you the overall scores after the 4 games. Going to be hopefully getting a score sheet. I will post the score sheet on my community tab that I have. So that'd be awesome. So, of course, if you haven't subscribed, feel free to subscribe to my channel, and it's super appreciated. Thank you to everybody for, suppose, being with me here, to be honest. I know from a viewer point of view, it wasn't as successful as yesterday, and that's okay. That's to be expected, because it was day 1 yesterday. It was much hyped. Maximum was casting, and he's analyst for PMGC, and that's fair. But thank you very much to everybody who tuned in. I appreciate one person tuning in, never mind a couple of thousand, and it really does mean a lot. Again, I said it already, but thank you so much to Sakamai for organizing these scrims and for putting in her own time to get the room code sorted, to get the scoring sorted, and to really control everything, get all the teams together, essentially. She is amazing, genuinely, and I can't thank her enough, really. I don't know her like amazingly well, but from talking to her, from dealing with her, Sakamai is one of the best out there. Simple as that. So on that note, guys, I'm going to end the stream. I will have the scores on my community tab or on my Instagram. You can also follow me on Instagram at EVT_ImPERium is my Instagram, at EVT_ImPERium. ImPERium. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you next time on the battlefield. Tomorrow, there are more scrims. Tomorrow, there are more PUBG Mobile Global Championship scrims. If you're subscribed, feel free to hit the notification bell. I'll stop talking now, and you have a great day, evening, wherever you are. Stay safe. Stay awesome.